Welcome, I'm the Kaijin Okami here at Denver Pop Culture Con 2019 with
Cruellica Kain.
And we are interviewing
Tara Strong.
For those who might not know who you are, what have you been
Who does
in?
not know who I am?
I was going to say, I'd be very disappointed if they don't.
And you're talking to the internet. They know me.
Do they though?
Yes. Like, they know me intimately. They know more about me than I know about me. That is
really
a true story.
Good thing, though.
I don't know. We'll have to find out. What's your favorite thing that I've done?
Samurai Jack.
Ooh. Die, samurai, die! You like Ashi.
Yep.
Nice.
And then Batman the Image series with obviously Batgirl.
Yep. That's good.
I have to say Batgirl, Harley Quinn, Samurai Jack, just the newest season was phenomenal.
It really was. Did you guys cry?
Yes.
No, I don't cry.
You can admit it to the internet. You cried. Yes, you did.
I cheered.
Before this is over, he's going to admit that he cried. Spoiler alert, when Ashi dies.
That
cheered
That
because-
hurt.
You cheered? You
Not
cheered when she died?
Well, I cheered.
I think I'm done with this interview.
I cheered because it was after waiting all that time for a final season of Samurai Jack getting an ending.
I hear you. That was good.
I was very sad when Ashi died. Spoiler alert if you have not seen Samurai Jack now.
Ashi dies.
Yeah. So, but to be fair, I am in awe because you have done so many iconic characters. You do so much good in a lot of your personal endeavors with nonprofits and different things like that. I find it fascinating that you do so much plus have a family. How do you manage it all without going crazy? Or are you crazy?
I'm pretty crazy. You know, all the characters living in my head, they all have different jobs to do. No, you know, it's hard often to fit it all in, and then I often find myself wishing there were more hours in the day. Luckily for me, mostly my day job is between school hours. So, you know, an animated session can be anywhere from 10 minutes to 4 hours. And usually I'm done in time to pick up my kids, and I can be a full-time mom. And a lot of the money that I raise on social media, I can do it just by sending out a tweet. You know, if I say, hey, there's this little girl with cancer, donate even $1, and I have 400,000 followers, that's going to help that family out a lot. So I try to sort of make time for everything during my day, and sometimes I get it all in, and sometimes I don't, but I just do the best that I can.
It's so impressive though, because you see so many people with different elements of how they use their voice. So it's always nice when you have the voice used for evil characters, but also for so much good at the same time.
Yeah, I did a tweet once about my characters taking over my head, and then I did an art contest to draw it, and then the artist piece that won would be used for donated charity items at my table. And it was so cool. Like, you know, as soon as you ask the internet to draw something, they draw it. Like one day I tweeted Twilight Fart Sparkles, and there were 1,000 drawings of Twilight farting sparkles. And there was one in particular that was so good. It was like me at my computer with all my characters around my head telling me what to tweet. It was really sweet.
I love it. Well, and it had Rugrats, it had everything through the spectrum. And being a 90s kid, I remember watching, 80s and 90s, have to admit my age, watching Rugrats was one of the earlier roles, and then going to Batman, where you played Batgirl, because my brain can't work anymore. How was it playing a baby and then going to a hard female character that had to stand for protecting her father, protecting so many other things?
Well, whenever I'm doing a show like that, character lives in that world, and then I leave that behind for the day. So they don't really have a crossover. Like, I sort of create this character, they live in my head, they come down when it's their turn to play. So Rugrats, you know, all the dialogue for Baby Dill would be in the stage directions. You know, it was like Baby Dill grabs Tommy's toy, pulls Angelica's hair, throws up, and then falls asleep. So it would be like that would be my line. And there'd be like really wet scripts and stuff, and then I'd go from there to Batman, which was really an actor's dream. We would do a table read, and then we'd do a full cast record. and Andrea Romano was at the wheel, so it was a real actor's delight. And I was sitting in between Mark Hamill and Kevin Conroy, so I would just constantly be pinching myself and know what a gift that show was.
On the subject of Batman, what was it like doing that Girls' Night Out episode with Supergirl?
That's my favorite episode.
Oh,
Is that your
really?
favorite episode?
No,
It's my favorite.
Did you cry at the end of Samurai Jack?
No.
Okay. I love that episode so much because it was really before a lot of the shows about girls kicking ass together, and to go out and fight crime with Supergirl, and then have these moments where we're like sitting at home with our hair in towels and talking about boys, or having this sort of humanized moment with these superheroes was so cool. I loved it so much. Like at that time, I remember thinking this should be a spin-off, and of course, now Lauren Faust has the brilliant DC Superhero Girls. So I loved that episode.
So what do you do for fun outside of all the work that you do? I know you're a mom, I know all of that, but do you love reading? Do you love music, opera? Anything fun?
Well, I do love my job too, so that's
Well,
and I
yes.
love being a mom too, so that's fun. And then my kids and I like to go on hikes together. My son and I will play the piano and sing together. That's one of our favorite things to do. We do lots of arts and crafts. We play with our animals. One of my charities is the World Wildlife Learning Center, so my sons will go volunteer there, and then I get to visit with the animals, and they'll often bring over like baby animals for me to play with and do a tweet about. And we go to the movies and just normal people stuff.
That's awesome. It's always one of those things. I like asking this question during interviews just to humanize who we.
I'm human. I think so.
Because we sometimes put individuals on a pedestal. So any way we can kind of remind everyone, just like doing the regular things as well. What's your favorite movie?
Defending Your Life.
I don't know that one.
You should see it.
I don't know that.
It's good.
I'll have to look at that one. Yeah.
Good. I cried at the end, like how he did at the end of Samurai Jack. I cried at the end of that movie.
See, he uses me to cry for everything, so that's why.
I get it.
I'm the one who cries everywhere. He'll be like that strong, manly character.
Got it.
Personally, I think he cries inside, but he just will never admit it.
Got it.
I'm right here. Of course, with the trick of editing, I could just like poof and disappear. Because I'm also a teacher, I do have a lot of students that are like, well, I want to get into being a voice actor or writing or comics, but then they're unsure of themselves because they might fail at it. What type of advice would you give them?
Well, I always say to voice actor hopefuls that you have to take as many acting classes as you can, singing lessons to know what your instrument can do. I especially recommend improv classes because that helps you create characters and be more confident. Like you say, you have to have the confidence because you won't get many opportunities. If you get in that studio and you do a bad job, you might not get another chance. And in terms of drawing and writing and all different parts of the business, I feel like if it's in you and you knew when you were young that's what you wanted to do, that you have to pursue it like fully. You can't just say, oh, maybe I'll dabble in that or maybe I'll do that on the side. Take as many classes and watch videos and learn everything you can so that you're really full of the information so that when you're ready to give your gift out to the world, you're proficient at it, because the world's full of people that are really good at a lot of things. You have to be really great to succeed in this world.
So not being a jack of all trades, but being a master of something.
Which can be tricky, I get that. I mean, I knew when I was 4 years old that I wanted to be a singer, dancer, actress. So for me, there was never any alternative to being in the entertainment industry, and I knew that with every cell of my body. But there are people, like my son, for example, who's a brilliant musician, but he's also great at maths, so it's hard to choose. So I get that dilemma too. I feel very lucky that I knew very young that that's what I wanted to do.
Now, how was it as a child knowing that you wanted to do it so young, but possibly with like your parents, were your parents very committed to like, if this is what you want to do, let's get you in that direction, or did they try to talk you out of it?
Well, my parents were always really supportive, so I was really, really lucky. They had me in all kinds of lessons. They took me to every audition. They would come to every show. They'd be like hanging over the balcony at every stage performance. And I'm really, really lucky. They didn't really know much about the entertainment business when I started pushing them to get me an agent, but when they did, they were completely on board. I started professionally when I was 13, and I grew up in Toronto, and I had over 20 animated series to my name before I moved here, as well as on camera and theater, so I had a nice well-rounded resume before moving to Los Angeles. And a lot of the shows in Canada, of course, are American co-production, so luckily people still knew who I was.
With playing music with your son, what's your favorite piece to play?
Well, he's really into jazz, so I'm
good.
sort of trying to learn some songs that he'd like to play. I typically will sit down and do musical theater stuff, but lately I'm into finding stuff that he'd really enjoy accompanying me with, and he's loves jazz.
Does he like old school jazz?
Yes. Yeah.
Old school jazz that you hear from like the 40s and 50s and 60s when you get to Sammy Robinson and everything is fantastic. So I guess,
Social media links.
yes.
What type of social media links could people find you at?
So my Twitter is @TaraStrong, so is my Instagram, and on Facebook I have a pro page that's just Tara Strong.
Sounds pretty simple.
I guess my last fun question before we wrap up is I'm a believer that music is a part of life. And with musical theater, you probably see that so often. If you had to choose one song that really resonates with who you are, what would it be?
Well, right now I really resonate with She Used to Be Mine, Sarah Bareilles from Waitress. I cannot stop singing that song. It's just reflective of my current state of mind. But I do love all kinds of singing, and my favorite job I ever did was The Little Mermaid 2. And I got to sing with Jodie Benson, and being in the studio with her was just so extraordinary. I was crying almost the entire time.
Just like he cried with Samurai.
Just like how you cried. Thank you.
Okay,
Thank
give
you
me
for
some
bringing
water
it
and
around.
I'll put some tears.
If he admits that to you later, will you let me know?
Absolutely. I'll make sure to tweet it at you as well.
Well, thank you so much for your
Thanks for
time.
having me.
Oh, thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
It was such a pleasure.
And until
guys.
next time, bye.